Namaste to everyone. Today we are going to have a lesson on acculturation. Acculturation is a very important subject for the students of social sciences, humanities, and almost all the subjects to know about acculturation. Acculturation is taking place at a faster rate today. That is, because of globalization, universalization, and the impact of multinational companies, the increase in migration, all these issues plays an important role for acculturation. The present lesson on acculturation is divided into two parts. The first part is the history, the coining of the term acculturation, definition, meaning and scope I have discussed. In the second part, understanding the term culture and acculturation, acculturation and assimilation, acculturation at different levels, theories of acculturation, acculturation strategies, examples of acculturation, methodology to be adopted, and the conclusions. Before starting my lesson, I would like to bring the importance of the title which I have given, which consists of a scientist, Hindu god, and also a fire which is like a sun. I wanted to explain this one, why I have selected this photograph to keep in the title, because I thought it is one of the best example for acculturation. Why I consider it is one of the best example? I will tell you the story behind it, why I chosen as a best example. The photograph which you are seeing, the scientist is Robert Oppenheimer, a German-born American nuclear scientist. He came to India, learned Sanskrit language to know about Bhagavad Gita, and learned Bhagavad Gita as a leader of Manhattan Project, joint work of the scientists at Los Alamos, resulted in the world's first nuclear explosion near Alamogordo, New Mexico on July 16, 1945. He worked as the team leader for the testing of the nuclear explosion. While the nuclear first explosion took place, Robert Oppenheimer heard when he saw the great fireball of the Trinity test looming above him. Poetic account of Bhagavad Gita, Oppenheimer says the following famous lines. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyugavabuddhita Yadi Bhasyadrusi Sa Sadbhasastasya Mahatmanaha. This is the one of the important verses of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita told to Arjuna. Now let us look into the meaning of it. If the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burn at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the mighty one. That is what he has said. And another verse had also entered his head at that time, namely the famous verse. Now let us hear that famous verse. Kalkosmi lokachaya yukru tadato lokan samahartumihi pravattutiha Rute tvam na bhavishyani sarve vastitataha patra nikeshu yodha. Is an important verse of Lord Krishna Now let us look into the meaning of it, which they translated as I am become death, the destroyers of the world. The meaning of it in concise. Now why it is has been chosen? What is the impressions which he has got? Oppenheimer says, I remember the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty and to impress him, take on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyers of the world. I suppose we all thought that one way or another. Is an important Bhagavad Gita verses. Why I am giving the example here? See the interest of the Oppenheimer came to India, learned Sanskrit to read Bhagavad Gita. That is the important which I want to tell you. How acculturation take place. He learned Bhagavad Gita and read the Bhagavad Gita, understand what is, and appropriate time he has used that verses. That is when the explosion took place. He has said that is the explosion, the light which came, it is equivalent to 1,000 suns light. And again he has said that Krishna has told Arjuna, you are not going to kill the people, I will kill. That is what he has told. That is why that word he has remembered, that he has said, now I become death, the destroyer of the worlds. Now you see the Oppenheimer, how he learnt the Bhagavad Gita and used the terminology at appropriate time. And another important one which I wanted to tell you is the explosion place where it took place. He called it as a trinity. That means trinity means Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. That is the greatness of Oppenheimer. It is one of the wonderful example for acculturation. Now let us learn about the history of acculturation. Probably one of the first academic accounts of the process of acculturation appears in Plato's Laws, written in the 14th century BCE. In his Laws, Plato identified the tendencies in human beings to travel and to imitate strangers. These combine to form new cultural practices. Being a Greek, Plato argued that such practices should be minimized to the greatest degree possible for the sake of preserving a superior Greek culture. Early codes of law, for example, the Old Testament's laws of Moses and the Babylonian law of Hammurabi were written for the purposes of stabilizing one's own culture practices and reducing acculturative changes. So now we can have an idea that as though the word acculturation is not used, but Plato has thought about how the impact of different cultures will be on Greek culture. That is what he has mentioned in Plato's works. He wanted to preserve the Greek culture and he thought it is a superior culture, not to acculturate the different cultures of the world. That is what he has said. Now let us look into the word acculturation. Who used the word first? John Wesley Powell is credited with coining the word acculturation, first using it in 1880 report by the United States Bureau of American Ethnography. In 1883, Powell defined acculturation as the psychological changes induced by cross-cultural imitation. And he defines acculturation is thus the exchange of cultural features as a result of a continuous first-hand contact between different cultural groups. Either one or both groups may change their original culture's patterns, but the two groups remain distinct. Is an interesting definition he has given in 1883 itself. So he says, acculturation is the exchange of cultural features. It is not only taking one culture into the another culture, but is also exchanges different cultures. As a result, and a first-hand contact between the cultural groups, a change will occur. Cultural change, we can say, is a change which occur. It is on either side of the group, not only one side, but either side. That is what he says. It can be observed from his definition that while exchanging cultural elements, each retains its unique culture. That is very important. When the two cultures come into contact, the cultures exchange their cultural element but retains their original culture, that is the unique cultural characteristics. Later, in the 20th century, acculturation became a famous or focus of American sociologists who used ethnography to study immigrant lives and the extent which they integrated into the United States society. The next important social scientist who used the term acculturation is Thomas and Florian. Examined this process with Polish immigrants in Chicago in their 1918 study, The Polish Peasant in European America. The first study was conducted by Thompson and others for studying the Polish peasants who has migrated to America, that is Chicago, and they have conducted a ethnographic study how acculturation is taking place. Robert and others, they have focused their research theories on the outcome of the process known as assimilation. They have used the term assimilation and acculturation, how it is taking place, and the discourse, how it is assimilated into the society. So now we can have a brief discussion on this term acculturation. Acculturation is a process through which a person or a group, one culture, comes adopt the practices and values of another culture while still retaining their own distinct culture. This process is almost commonly discussed regarding a minority culture adopting elements of the majority culture, as is typically the case with immigrant groups that are culturally or ethnically distinct from the majority in the place to which they have migrated. However, acculturation is a two-way process, so those within the majority culture often adopt elements of minority cultures with which they came into contact. The process plays out between groups where neither necessarily a majority or minority. It can happen at both groups and individual levels and can occur as a result of in-person contact or contact through art, literature or media. So it gives a detailed explanation how acculturation takes place. Now let us know the contemporary development of the subject acculturation. the first study by Herskovits in 1927, followed by Lesser in 1933, Redfield in 1928, Shapira 1934, and Speyer himself 1935 were making it clear that acculturation studies had become an important interest of anthropologists. This fact gave rise to an action in 1935 by the Social Sciences Research Council aimed at the better coordination of research in acculturation. The foundation appointed a committee of 3 prominent anthropologists and instructed them to attempt the formulation of a more systematic approach. Under the chairmanship of Robert Redfield, the committee prepared a short memorandum called Outline of the Study of Acculturation in 1935. It sought to define the field of study that was coming to be called as acculturation and to provide a checklist of topics concerning which field data should be gathered if the phenomena defined were to be systematically investigated. So, you can see the evolution of the subject acculturation. The committee was appointed and the committee has made a detailed study about it and prepared a checklist for the studies to be conducted on acculturation and defined the terminology acculturation. Now let us see the definition. Redfield and Herskovits defined acculturation as comprehends those phenomena which results when groups of individuals having different cultures come into continuous first-hand contact with subsequent changes in the original cultural patterns of either or both the groups. So they have given a very simple definition. When two cultures, different cultures, come into contact with the other, and that he says first-hand contact, and with that contact subsequent changes will take place in the original culture. It may be either group the changes will take place, that changes which took place and adoption of that culture is called acculturation. In the 1954 formulation by the Social Science Research Council, acculturation was defined as a cultural change that is initiated by the conjunction of two or more autonomous cultural systems. Its dynamic can be seen as the selective adoption of value systems, the process of integration and differentiation, the generation of development sequences, and the operation of role determinants and personality factors. So, it is a lengthy definition they have given. They have expressed that it is a cultural change at different levels and integrating different cultures when they come into contact, and adoption of the cultures of various cultural groups and development of that culture over a period of generations. The first generation will be different. After adopting the particular culture, the second generation, third generation will be totally different. Their way of life also will be different. That is what they have defined in this definition. Another social scientist, Young Kim, has contributed the most extensive research toward defining acculturation from a communication perspective. He is a communication social scientist. Communication is viewed as central to the acculturation process. Thus, he defines acculturation occurs through the identification and the internalization of the significant symbols of the host society. Say, most of the people are migrating to different countries, especially to United States. from India who are migrating. That is a host state. Those who are going from India to USA, they are adopting and their symbols, their way of life, their cultural pattern, many of the Indians adopting the United States culture. The people over there, they had to adopt those culture for their survival. So he says that symbols, that is means a language and expression, plays an important role for acculturation. So the acculturation process therefore is an interactive and continuous process that evolves in and through the communication of an immigrant with the new socio-cultural environment. The acquired communication competence in turn reflects the degree of that immigrant's acculturation. As we have discussed, most of the Indians, scientists, especially the software engineers migrating to the United States, when they are going over there, they have to live in that particular environment and culture. So they are adopting different symbols and the language, the communication, how they are dealing there. So for their survival, they had to adopt their culture, the local culture, based on the social structure of that environment. So the adoption of immigrants, a new culture, is acculturation. Now let us look into the acculturation process. Redfield, Linton and Herskovits defined three potential results for acculturation process. The first potential outcome of acculturation is acceptance. In acceptance, one group loses most of their culture heritage and takes on the culture traits from the donor groups. A second potential result of acculturation is adoption, which involves combining new and original cultural features into a culture whole, resulting in a holistic mosaic. The mosaic can consist of integrated cultural features and practices or conflicting elements. The third possible result of acculturation process is reaction, in which counter-acculturative movements arise in response to cultural oppression or as an unforeseen negative results of the efforts to integrate cultural features from the groups holding very different cultural features, where you can see the reactions can form a sense of pride in the older culture or as a compensation for the attitudes of discrimination by one culture towards the other. The memo presages much of the debate in acculturation research for the next 80 years across anthropology, psychology, sociology and other social sciences. Here, these three stages of acculturation is very important. See, the first, the acceptance of the culture of outsider or the migrant group in the host group is an important one, whether they will be accepting or not accepting. Even if accepting, to what extent they are accepting and how the donor group expresses their anxiety over the adopted culture by others. That is very important. The second one is, when you adopt the different cultures as a migrant group, it forms like a mosaic. That means you will lose your original culture to some extent, and different cultures will come into your culture, and it plays an important role, like a mosaic having different colors, different ways of life. The third is an important one. When the migrant group migrants to the host country, there they will have a low profile. Over a period of time, they will become very strong group. We have a very good example for this. You look into the migration of African people to France, UK, and America. When they are migrated as a small groups and also sometimes as a slaves, which you can read the history of migration, there you will be finding the problems of migration, how they have been treated as a prisoners and slaves. They took over there and they have given different type of tortures and problems. Over a period of time, the blacks, we call as Negroes of Africa, migrant groups became dominant. This you can see the issues which American people and France people presently facing with the blacks. The blacks now became a very prominent community in the United States, which I can say, or I can tell you some of the examples in every movie of produced from America or France. They are having a Negro actors and actresses and in their film, and also the TV serials which you can see in American broadcasted TV serials. More than 30% of them they are blacks. The politics, important positions presently occupied by the blacks because they became a dominant group. That is why I am telling you, adoption of certain cultures over a period of time, the host country is not able to tolerate the migrant group's culture, became an important group for deciding who will be the president of United States. I think you might have seen the last elections with Trump, how he has defeated the black people with the white police people. What happened? Ultimately, it resulted the downfall of the Trump as a president. Understanding the term culture is very important, that can lead us to more fully understand the term associated with the theory of acculturation. So what does acculturation mean? When the individuals or groups of people transition from living a lifestyles of their own culture or moving into the lifestyles of another culture, they must acculturate or come to adopt the new cultural behaviors, values, customs and language. The word acculturation is the act of that transition. See, it is an important aspect. The people who have a different kind of lifestyles, when they migrate and live with the people of other different lifestyles, they will be contacting with each other and form a new different cultural life. By adopting the different cultural traits of either groups, especially in this aspect, the dominant group's cultural trait will be adopted by the migrant groups. Now let us look into the famous social scientist Alfred Kroeber, what he states. He says, acculturation consists of those changes in one culture brought about by contact with another culture, resulting in increased similarity between the two cultures. This type of change may be reciprocal, however, very often the process is asymmetrical and then result is the usually partial absorption of one culture into the other culture. Kroeber believed that acculturation is a gradual rather than abrupt. He connected this process of diffusion with the process of acculturation by considering that diffusion contributes to acculturation and the acculturation necessarily involves diffusion. He did attempt to separate the two processes by stating that diffusion is a matter of what happens to the elements of culture, whereas acculturation is a process of what happens to a whole culture. That is what Kroeber has defined. Here he made a distinction between acculturation and diffusion. Acculturation takes place because of diffusion only. Diffusion is different from acculturation. He says acculturation is different and is a process what happens when a whole culture is changed, how it is affected. That is what acculturation, a process of what happens. Then diffusion is a matter of what happens to the elements of the culture. So what are the different elements of the culture we have studied in the beginning of the concept of the culture? So what happens in the course of acculturation for the elements of culture? That is diffusion. So acculturation is the process of systematic cultural change of a particular society carried out by an alien dominant society. This change is brought about under the conditions of direct contact between individuals of each society. Individuals of foreign or minority cultures learn the language, habits, and values of a standard or a dominant culture by the cultural process of acculturation. The process by which these individuals enter the social positions as well as acquire the political, economic, and cultural standards of the dominant culture is called assimilation. These individuals, through the social process, assimilation became integrated in the standard culture. This is pronounced by Thompson in 1996. The best example for this is which I have told you about the blacks and whites in United States and France. What it has happened is a small group which have been migrated from Africa, and over a period of time they became very powerful. Now they became dictating the terms in the United States in all aspects of the life. Now let us analyze at a glance about these definitions. So acculturation is the process in which the people of one culture adopts the culture of the other that is not originally their own. That is the first one. The second one is the original culture of the person changes due to adoption of the culture of others. The third one is people who spend much of the time in the foreign are likely to adopt the foreign cultures and hence are the examples of the acculturation. Acculturation is often seen in languages, styles of clothing, food habits, etc. So these are some of the important aspects which you can observe in acculturation process, which you can see. The migrant group, they adopts the local culture, that is the host culture what they are adopting, and by way of adopting the culture the lifestyles also they will be changing. You can see often not only the language, the styles of clothing, dress usage will also say change. For example, in India, we are using saris for the ladies and men dhoti and kurta and pajama. After going over to the United States or any other Western countries, we are adopting to that culture. That is pant, shirt, t-shirt, trousers, tie, coat, suit, everything, boot, everything. So the way of lifestyles has been changed. Along with the lifestyles, the food habits also changing. That is very important. Where we are using chapati and rice. North India we are using chapati eating. In South India we are more of them are rice eating. When you go for abroad, outside country, there you have to adopt their way of life of food. So most of the countries they will be using bread, pizza and different type of baking items. So many of our people who has gone to United States and UK and other places, they have adopted their own culture, local culture, eating pizza, pasta, different type of breads which are available locally. So this is acculturation, adopting themselves based on the ecological, environmental conditions and the local culture, the way of life they are living is adopting. So this type of adoption, Tetley in his works has mentioned in 1959 that the process of intermingling of culture is called acculturation. So the process of intermingling of cultures is called acculturation. Okay. Now let us have a brief look about studies conducted on acculturation. Acculturation studies about European immigrants coming to the United States during the 19th and early 20th century have helped to give insight into the problem of encountered when people from diverse culture came into dominant cultures. At the same time, studies about minorities already living in the United States shows how some groups are resistant to assimilation and in some cases acculturation taking place. Studies such as these could identify where the problems are for the acculturation and assimilation of a minority individuals or groups and how to establish better relationship between various groups and the dominant society. An understanding of the cultural process can be gained from such studies. So here mainly acculturation, assimilation, diffusion studies has started in United States, studying the problems and issues of the migrant groups, mainly the African people who have migrated over a period of time, is an important aspect for the study of the Americans, for the administration, development and to coexist with the different races or different cultures. It became inevitable for the social scientist to study the assimilation process and also acculturation process. In this process, several studies were taken up by the anthropologists, sociologists, psychologists, economists, political science people. And we have told about different studies conducted by various people. Today, the blacks playing a vital role or important role in American politics, American economy, American cultural role. All these things, which you look into it, almost all the aspects of America, they are playing an important role. The migrant groups, we can say the migrant groups from India, especially software engineers and also the doctors, playing a prominent role in United States development, economic development. Most of the multinational companies CEOs are from India. Microsoft, different companies which are in United States are from American born Indians. For example, present day Vice President of India is from India origin. See, think how acculturation takes place and assimilation takes place, and they are assimilated with the local people and become a dominant group. By way of accepting their lifestyles, accepting their culture, all these things they are accepting, and they are coexisting with the local population and becoming a dominant group along with the host group. That is the acculturation process. Now let us look into the briefly about acculturation and assimilation. Acculturation and assimilation have most often been studied in European immigrations coming to the United States during the 19th and early 20th centuries, as well as minority groups already living in the United States. European white ethnics have experienced a higher rate of assimilation than non-whites. Non-European and more recently immigrated groups. These studies have resulted in several important cultural generalizations about the process of acculturation and assimilation. Now let us look at the acculturation at different levels. Now first let us see at a group and individual level how acculturation works out. At the group level, acculturation entails the widespread of adoption of the values, practices, forms of art and technologies of another culture. This can range from adopting ideas, beliefs and ideology to the large-scale inclusion of cuisines, foods and styles from other culture. That is acculturation. At that group level can also entail the cultural exchange of clothing, fashions and language. It happens when immigration groups learn and adopt the new homes of language, or when certain places and words from foreign language make their way into common usage. Sometimes leaders within a culture decide to adopt the technologies or practices for efficiency and progress. At the individual level, acculturation may involve all the same things that occur at the group level, but the motives and circumstances may differ. For example, people who travel to foreign lands where the culture differs from their own, who spend more time there, are likely to engage in the process of acculturation, wherever intentionally or not, to learn and experience new things, enjoy their stay and reduce the social friction and that can arise from cultural differences. Here you can look into the group level acculturation and individual level acculturation. At the individual level, if you go for a foreign country for a short trip, you will be learning and you will be enjoying the life for a short duration, and you will be following the same culture and you will be coming back. Whereas a group, when you move, that is in a for long time and permanently settled, there your lifestyle way of culture and language and symbols, everything will be adopted according to the local one. That is the difference between individual level of acculturation and group level acculturation. Today here I am concluding the first part, and we will be continuing in the second part, in the second lesson, with the following subtitles such as theories of acculturation, acculturation strategies, examples of acculturation, methodology to be adopted, and the conclusions. Thank you very much. If you like this lesson, please forward this link to your friends and scholars. Thank you very much.